right, what's up, everybody? Good evening and welcome to the Irish Rover and into the Neshaminy football preview show on WBCB. We are with head coach Steve Wilmot as we'll talk to some of the Neshaminy players and get ready for the upcoming season. We've got a ton of games coming your way on the WBCB Sports Network. And Coach Wilmot, thanks for spending some time with us today. And you guys have like a whole new field over there. Talk about the new facilities at Neshaminy and everything that has gone into getting you guys a turf surface to play football on this season.
Yeah, I think the Neshaminy School District really did a nice job. It wasn't easy. There was definitely some sacrifices along the way. Last year, right around this time, they tore up our practice field. So a lot of times we had to practice on the front lawn. You know, when you come down the driveway to Neshaminy, we practice on the front lawn. A lot of practices in the stadium, which isn't bad, but we didn't want to tear that stadium up, and other teams had to play on it. So there were definitely a lot of sacrifices coming to this point. The project is kind of coming to a completion now. They still have to work on the field houses and the locker rooms, the concession area. But the field and the stands are done, and the multi-purpose field is done, and it's really nice to play on.
Well, the new facilities and Neshaminy football means the best, I think, game atmosphere that you find in this area. We're talking about Suburban One League National Football, and great to be here at the Irish Rover. This is definitely a part of the Neshaminy community. I think we've done this preview show maybe for 10 years at the Rover, Coach. A pleasure for me to be part of the preview show tonight. Keith Noonan's going to be calling most of the games on WBCB, and we'll meet your players in just a little bit. What are some of the lessons you picked up from last year, and as you go through each of these coaching seasons, how do you see your style of coaching evolving? What should fans expect from this team offensively and defensively?
Offensively, we're going to kind of continue to be diverse. We don't want to be any one dimension. We don't want to run the ball too much. We don't want to pass the ball too much. We know in the back of our minds, ultimately, you win games by running the football. So, that's in the back of our minds. But kind of like we talked about before the show, if you're too one-dimensional and they take that away, and you don't have a plan B worked out, then that's not good. So that's how come we really strive to run the ball. We strive to have a lot of play action, a lot of quick game. We want to keep the chains moving on third down, so we got to have a very efficient pass game. And I think our guys in the offseason have done a nice job with that. On defensively, we haven't really talked about defense, but we've kind of changed our philosophy on defense a little bit too. For the longest time, we ran a 4-man defensive front. This year, we're going to a 3-man, more attack-style defense. And I think so far it's been really, really well. All we're asking our defensive linemen to do is just to get to their gap and create chaos in their gap. And I think our linebackers have really done a nice job of filling their gaps. That's really the whole key, is you want to free up those linebackers to make the plays. So far during camp, they've done a nice job with that. And our secondary has adjusted to their new coverages too, because new defense and some new coverages to marry with it. And our defensive backs have done a nice job with that.
You mentioned how last year started and where you guys were at this point last season. You started with the Ocean City game. This year you start with Kensington, and then you'll move to Council Rock South. This year it's a very home-heavy schedule to begin. I think you have 4 home games to start the schedule, and you finish up the year on the road with 3 road games. Does that, I don't know, it almost seems like that gives you guys an opportunity to be in that new facility at Harry Frank Stadium, and I don't know, to enjoy that game day atmosphere, maybe getting off to a good start this season.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. We don't know a whole lot about Kensington. Our team photographer, Jesse Garber, his daughter works there. That's kind of how we got kind of hooked up. It seems like everyone knows Jesse Garber. He's kind of the one that kind of masterminded this whole thing. Kensington was 6-4 last year in the public league. we'll go from there. We expect Council Rock South to have a really good team this year. They were pretty good last year, and I know they're feeling really good about what they have coming back this year. Downingtown West, I think, is one of the top teams in District 1. And then after Downingtown West, we have North Bend, who's year in and year out one of the top teams in District 1. So, our first 4 home games we're really looking forward to. I think the challenges will continue to mount every week, and we're hoping that the new stadium, the new atmosphere really kind of gives us a good burst. This senior class really wants to do well. This stadium can only help that, but ultimately, it's your Jimmy and Joe's that win the game. It's not the stadium.
Well, one key to getting everybody fired up is to making sure Neshaminy Nation shows up, and they never disappoint. I think this season is going to be a special one because of the new surface, the new atmosphere. I mean, just the look and feel. I was able to visit you over on campus to see one of your practices, and I don't know, just I got kind of fired up. I wanted to go out there and put a helmet on or take the field, run around a little bit, catch a football.
I'll tell you what, I am one of the luckiest head coaches in all of Pennsylvania because the support from the community and the support from the student body is just off the charts. You go back 2 years ago where we kind of struggled to get wins. Every single home game that year was packed. It's a loyal bunch, and it's also a hungry bunch that wants to see a lot of wins too. So. We have that in the back of our minds as the season approaches also. Well,
respect to Neshaminy Nation, and again, creating that game day atmosphere for Neshaminy football. And let's hear it for the Irish Rover as well, our host today, and for many, many years part of the Neshaminy community. Long before this was the Irish Rover, it was Joe's Mill Hill Saloon, and the Irish Rover was around the corner. But this has always been part of Neshaminy football. This is where a lot of people come after the game to enjoy some conversation about what happened on the field. We're hanging out with Coach Wilmot, and we've got some of your players here, a full house, and looking forward to meeting the guys. Something special, though, about Neshaminy football, and I was able to look at all the history on the Neshaminy.com. Is it NeshaminyFootball.com?
NeshaminyFootball.com.
Talk about the amount of support and the community, all of the work that has gone into accumulating the game day programs, the on-field video, the game day footage from the 1960s and 1950s. There is so much stuff there for Neshaminy football fans to check out that if they have not done so, I really recommend they go through it. They can look at all the different coaches and the eras of Neshaminy football. And you were mentioning that Rita Dapke has written up, I thought there were a lot of interesting tidbits. There's some trivia, a lot of good stuff on there. So I recommend that everybody that's a part of Neshaminy Nation checks out that website. And we'll step aside, Coach, right now. We're going to meet the offense first, and then the defense here that is with us at the Irish Rover Station House. This is the Neshaminy Football Preview Show on the WBCB Sports Network, and we're coming right back in just a moment.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
Whether you're just getting started, already well on your way, planning for your future, drafting your vision, growing toward greatness, or finding that dreams really can come true. Whatever your next steps are, we'll be right here with you, just like we have been for 150 years. Start here, grow here, stay here. Penn Community Bank. Here we are, and here we grow. Member FDIC.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
All right, welcome back to the Irish Rover. Let's hear it for Neshaminy football. Let's hear it for the Rover as we get ready for a brand new season of the Redskins on the WBCB Sports Network. All right, Coach Wilmot hanging out, fine food and fun. It's all here at the Irish Rover. Today is Taco Tuesday. Wednesdays, they got the famous prime rib night. That's right, Taco Tuesday.
I didn't know that.
What do you think about that, Coach? Pretty good. And, of course, they got good stuff every night of the week. Let's see, Thursdays, the killer burgers here at the Irish Rover. And, of course, every Friday after the games, this is the place to be for Neshaminy football to talk about the game and, to soak up the Neshaminy atmosphere. It's the Irish Rover. We thank them for their support. We're back again for the Neshaminy preview show. Coach Wilmot, and we've got your offense with us.
Yes.
And we'll start with Julian Hammond, running back. Saw some time last season, picked up more than 100 yards for the Skins, a couple of touchdowns in his play. And now I think maybe more going to be expected of you this season. What has been your experience getting ready for this first game, and what do you expect from your team this year?
My experience has been pretty good. I've been working hard with the team. All of us been working hard. We just have to work together and put everything. We've been all working hard in the off season, weight room, putting everything together. So we just have to put it all together and work as a team to get to our goal.
What would you say you learned from last season and the experience you did pick up in some of those games?
Just kind of because I never played. I guess hard work pays off. If you put in the work, then it's going to show on the field. So.
Any different chemistry developing with this offensive line, the guys that in front of you, creating some opportunities?
Definitely. We've been working together, and we're spending more time together through practice and camp and all that. So,
what are some other things you do as part of the Neshaminy community? I think Coach Wilmot told me you're also a wrestler.
Yeah, I wrestle, and then we also do the club for.
He knows all about the Challenger Club.
Challenger Club and all that, yeah.
That's a great way to give back. You're one of the volunteers that works with special needs athletes on Sundays at Neshaminy High School. Talk about your experience with that Challenger program. What have you learned from those interactions?
It's good to give back, and it just to help other kids and help them with the sport you love.
All right, so as you see in this team coming along right now, what are some things that you need to do? What are you hearing from the coaches that you guys need to improve upon or work on a little bit more in order to be ready for Kensington, Council Rock South, and this whole gauntlet you're going to have to run?
Amp up our energy, and we've been working hard, so we just, like I said, we have to put everything together, and we've all been doing our separate things to get better, and then we just have to put it all together.
Any challenges for you as far as the playbook is concerned, or was that like a lot of the stuff you picked like last year, similar stuff this year?
Yeah, we got a couple new things, but it's pretty normal stuff.
Well, good luck this season. And one of the questions I always ask the two sport guys, like anything like with leverage or stuff that your wrestling experience helps you on the football field?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely with mindset and all that. Wrestling's a hard sport, and it gets you in the right mindset to work hard when you're facing adversity and all that. So
it goes back to your first point about like learning that lesson of hard work. I mean, that's what 6A varsity athletics kind of teaches you, is that there's somebody on the other side of the football that also is working hard. So you got to be at your best. Well, good luck this season, Julian. Thanks for being with us today. Pass that headset over to Colin, and we'll talk to the quarterback from last season for Neshaminy. 112 attempts, threw for over 1,100 yards, a few touchdowns, 4 TDs for Neshaminy. And Colin, same kind of gauntlet of questions. What did you learn from last year? What is the experience from last season? How's that going to help you this season?
The experience is going to help me a lot. I mean, now I know what a varsity 6A defense looks like, and I just plan on to get better and really focus on not turning the ball over as much and just scoring more touchdowns than last year.
Well, here's an opportunity for everybody to meet Neshaminy senior quarterback Colin Baker here on the preview show. Tell them what they should expect from this team and from your level of effort, what you guys have seen or what you've seen with everybody working so far to get ready for the first game.
We have a lot of experience with the receivers, a lot of returning starters, and that's going to help us a lot with the pass game. And then we'll be able to run the ball with Julian and other running backs also. And I mean, we just got to be disciplined and not get a lot of pre-snap penalties this year.
And we're going to talk to a couple of your targets, a couple of wide receivers that are sitting with us in just a moment. Your coach, Coach Wilmot, mentioned that this Neshaminy offense is multiple. What kind of challenges does that present for a quarterback? Seems like you have to know a lot of different formations, plays. Are there a lot of differences from last year, or because of your experience from last year, take some of the pressure off coming into this year?
I mean, we were doing some stuff different this year, but I mean, it's nothing hard this year. I mean, we've got a lot more options this year with our offense, and we'll just try and get better every day and see how far we can go.
And we got a ton of players to meet, and you look back at last year's season, 4-6 for the Redskins, but a couple of games that were right in the balance. That North Penn game, that was like an overtime game that you guys just came up on the wrong side of, and the Penridge game, an 8-7 finish, you guys trailing by just, losing by just a point in that game. I don't know, I would imagine that would motivate me. You think back on last season, maybe not those 2 games, but what teams are you looking forward to seeing? What from last year are you hoping to, rectify and kind of change up a little bit?
Pensbury, that's a good one. But I really haven't looked back at last season too much because we were 4-6 and we're just trying to improve to be better than that and get to the 11th game this year. And I do look forward to some of the games like North Penn. That overtime loss really hurt, but we'll improve and get better.
And it seemed like those games could have been a turning point, and who knows where that season could have gone last year. But a new opportunity for you guys this season. What has been the chemistry like developing with some new targets that we're going to talk to in just a minute, Colin?
I mean, these 2 right here, they're returning starters, so I mean, we have chemistry. I work with Trav in the off season and John, but yeah, we have a lot of experience on the skills set of the ball, so I think we'll be all right.
Have you been able to work as much with John? I mean, I know we had an injury issue last season. I mean, it must be good to have kind of a familiar, somebody with experience back.
Yeah, but John's been hurt this all season with a wrist injury, so I mean, he's been out for a while almost.
Well, that's tough. We'll talk about the injury blues. Pass that microphone on to our next Neshaminy Redskin. We're here for the Neshaminy preview show, and their first game August the 25th, they're going to take on Kensington. Their season begins with a bunch of home games at Neshaminy High School, Kensington, Council Rock South, Downingtown West, and North Penn. And we'll have all of that action for you on the WBCB Sports Network with play-by-play and live video coverage of all the action. So looking forward to that as we pass the microphone on here to Travis.
Yes, sir.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for being with us today.
How you doing?
So, Colin mentioned you guys already have some chemistry. How has that work gone, and how has that chemistry developed getting ready for this first game of this season?
Yeah, him becoming a starter last year. We've already been working this offseason trying to get that chemistry for this year, trying to get that connection, and putting them balls where he's supposed to, me going out and catching it. Yeah, we've just been working on that a lot.
It seems like one of the things you get to work on, through your – Coach Juan said you're in the track team as well. Mm-hmm. That allows you to work on speed, your get-off,
yes, sir.
Your explosiveness.
Form, all of that for open space, all, to get to the end zone and everything. Yes, sir.
All right, so what do you think this team needs to where does this team need to have success in order to get off to the right start, to get a win against Kensington, Council Rock South, but then to keep that momentum going?
I just feel like coming out the game, starting hot, keeping our heads straight during the game, and just communicating, playing together, and I feel like we could do really good if we do all that.
I mentioned to Coach Wilmot that I think Neshaminy has the best game day atmosphere in all of high school football in this area. Suburban 1 League National, the kettle corn, the concessions, the lights, and now the new field and the new surface. It is awesome. I want you to take an opportunity to invite the student body, all the Neshaminy Nation people to come out and see you guys and be a part of, what seems like an exciting opportunity for the whole Neshaminy community to, explode, celebrate a little bit.
Yeah, y'all could come out August 25th, Neshaminy at the Ridge. We're playing in Kensington at 7 p.m. Come out, watch us, give us a shot.
The other thing I heard you guys, people talking about, this is my favorite play, this is what I like to do. What is Travis's favorite play, favorite opportunity?
Just me getting the ball and scoring. Yes, sir.
Well, pass that along. We want to talk to your fellow wide receiver here as we got the Neshaminy offense with us, getting set for the first game of the year on WBCB. Neshaminy will take on Kensington, and it's great to have Julian, Colin, Travis, and John up here with us, along with head coach Steve Wilmot. So, John, man, that's a bummer. I was going to ask you about the injury blues, and now you got another road bump or a little bit of an issue going on right now.
Yeah, I just got surgery a few weeks ago on my wrist. It's been pretty banged up since around February, but I should be back around week 3.
Has any of the injuries prevented you from getting in the off-season work or some of the other things that you would have hoped to be a part of?
Yeah, I didn't get to do any really 7-on-7 this year. I didn't get that work in, but I think I'll be ready to play once it comes time to get on the field. I've been in this offense since my sophomore year. I think I'm ready to go. I just got to make sure I'm conditioned and ready to play football.
All right, so you get a little bit of a bird's eye view, and now as an old guy, I get a really good bird's eye view of what a commitment it takes to be a part of a 6A varsity football team in this area. And I'm proud of all these guys for what they've been able to do to contribute to Neshaminy football, but kind of from that outsider perspective, it must be kind of cool to see the work that everybody,
Absolutely.
You got to show up, and you got to show up ready to put in all the effort that because you're doing it for your teammates.
Yep. Neshaminy football is no joke. We train like nothing I've ever seen before. We're in our 3-a-day process right now, and it's tough work, but if you want to be a good football team, you got to fight through it.
All right, have you gone onto that NeshaminyFootball.com website, John? You got to do it.
I have not.
It's like a history lesson. You go back in time, and you see Harry Franks and who's the other guy? Coach Custers, right?
Coach Peter Kuski.
Coach Kuski. He's the guy in the statue, pointing over here and everything. But an amazing resource is that Neshaminy football website, and you guys got to check it out just to see what a rich tradition that you guys are all a part of. They go back to the 1940s and 1950s, and the fact that so many people took their time out to find their old videos in the attics, and I don't know how all the information got compiled onto this resource, but it's really awesome. Good luck this season. Hopefully you're going to bounce back. And do you have any timetable with your wrist right now? Or?
Around week 2, I will have this off, and then I'll start PT, so I should be back around week 3. But I'm good.
All right, well, now we get to meet some of Coach Wilmot's favorite people, the offensive linemen.
Well, I'm
I
proud.
like these guys, too.
Yeah, these guys are all right, but when I visited you at practice, Coach, you spent a lot of your time with the offensive line going over technique and all that. Did you guys ever see Coach Wilmot, John?
Yeah,
he
get to
is
see him
there.
during
Right?
team, but he likes to yell at them a little more than us.
All right, well, we'll get these guys over here and go get Coach Wilmot to talk about the offensive line of Neshaminy football when we get back to our Neshaminy preview show in just a little bit. Thanks so much to Julian, to Colin, to Travis, and to John, members of the Neshaminy offense. Let's hear it for these guys as they get ready to take on Kensington. That's August the 25th, and we got all the games throughout the season on WBCB. We're coming right back with more of our preview show.
BCWSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Whether you're just getting started, already well on your way, planning for your future, drafting your vision, growing toward greatness, or finding that dreams really can come true, whatever your next steps are, we'll be right here with you, just like we have been for 150 years. Start here, grow here, stay here. Penn Community Bank. Here we are, and here we grow. Member FDIC.
Are you living with relentless pain? St. Mary has a new way to help. Knee and hip replacements with a smarter process for faster recovery, earning prestigious awards for quality and value. A rapid recovery program has you walking just hours after surgery, and breakthrough advances such as custom-fit joints position you for a longer pain-free life. 215-710-5888. St. Mary Orthopedics. It's your health. Expect more.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
All right, welcome back to the Irish Rover for our Neshaminy football preview show on WBCB for fine food and for an awesome time. The Irish Rover Station House at 1033 South Bellevue Avenue in Langhorne. They got Taco Tuesdays on Wednesdays, outstanding special with the famous prime rib. The finest cut of prime rib served with your salad. You got a smashed mashed potato and vegetable, only $17.95 at the Irish Rover Station House. Wednesdays, they got the killer burger night. And on Sundays and throughout the weekend, great stuff going on here at the Rover. And, of course, after Neshaminy football, this is the place you want to be to talk about the game and get together with your fellow Redskin fans. We've got some more members of the Neshaminy offense we're going to meet in just a little bit. Coach Wilmot standing by as well. And, Coach, I noticed that 2020, 2021, 2022, you guys opted not to go with team captains. And
well, we did, but we pick them a little bit later in camp. In fact, I was thinking about picking them tomorrow morning. We pick them, and it's before the program is published. So a lot of times we don't get their pictures, but we do go with captains.
And is that something that I also noticed like there's an end of year awards that you guys do. Is that something that you pick? You get together with some of your assistants?
A lot of the end of the year awards have been around a lot longer than I have, and I've been here. This is my 29th year. There's one called Mr. Redskin, and most years, in fact, every single year, we have the kids vote on that. Then there's Mr. Lyman, and again, these awards have been around a lot longer than me. Mr. Back. Then maybe there might be 3D has been around forever. So if you go on the website, you can see those all the way back to the 1970s. There was a Mr. Redskin. Actually, Mr. Redskin I think goes all the way back to 1954. I think one year we did something at our banquet about it, and at one time I knew who the first Mr. Redskin was, but I've forgotten ever since. But a lot. These awards have been around longer than I have.
Well, it's back in 1954 that Harry Frank said, "The glory of the Neshaminy Redskins."
Time will never dim the glory of the Redskins.
Oh, that's what it is. Oh, jeez. I almost got it, Coach. Almost got it.
All right.
All right, let's meet some of your offensive linemen. When I was over there for practice, you guys were going over all kind of technique points. What are some of the things that you try to hammer home with your offensive linemen? Just like a quick get-off?
Move your feet and punch. That's basically sums it up. Move your feet and punch. But by now, their assignments are. By now, their assignments are supposed to be down. Like right now, we're not talking about on this play you do this, on that. That's what the off season's about. Now that we put the helmets on, we put the shoulder pads on. This week we put the lowers on. It's all about technique, and the assignments are supposed to be in their back pocket, and it's all about moving their feet and punching. That's kind of where we're at.
Man, looking at your roster, it seems like there's more experience on the defensive side of the football than there is on the offensive side of the football. And we'll talk to RJ first, who's a newcomer on the offensive line. What has that experience been like, trying to step up there on the varsity, into the varsity team? And what have the coaches been trying to get you to improve on in order to be ready for this first game against Kensington?
They've been trying to get me to prove a lot of things that I
Push that mic up just a little bit so we hear you.
Here?
Yep, thank you.
They've been trying to get me to prove a lot of things, and I believe I've been getting better on a lot of them. There are some things I still need to work on that I'll get down, hope by next week. So, yeah.
And where do you like RJ to be in the line? Is he an interior guy? Is he on the outside?
RJ is on the interior. He's a guard. We have two 6'5" tackles. RJ's only 6'2". So right now he fits in the inside. But next year for senior year, he could play tackle or he could play guard.
Man, that guard spot sometimes calls for a little bit more athleticism. Are you pulling out and trying to get in front of backs in certain plays and getting out into space to make some blocks?
Oh, some plays, yeah.
What are some other things for the offensive line that you feel like like off-season work, right? I mean, weight room seems like a critically important thing. Do you guys get onto a nutritional program and have like a diet that you guys will try to adhere to?
Not really. I mean, I did a little bit, and then I had a mishap, so I kind of fell off that diet during the season, off-season.
A little bit of an injury, a setback for you?
Yeah.
Well, that's a little difficult to deal with, but you able to hang with it? You feel you're back to 100% now?
Yeah, I believe I am.
All right, so first game coming up, Kensington, new field, new facility. What do you expect to be going through your mind when they say, look to the left, fans, here come the Redskins, and you get to take that field as a newcomer on that offensive line?
I just expect to see what I saw last year as being a backup. Everyone cheering on us and everything.
I would imagine you're getting ready to perform it. You're going to have a different feeling going on there.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be exciting. It'll be a new feeling that I haven't felt yet. I don't really know how to explain it.
Well, any particular games that you're circling on the schedule, or any teams that you have any particularly relationships with other players out there?
Mainly Pennsbury. I have a couple of friends on the team. And overall, I mean, we're rivals with Pennsbury. So
I think that because they're so close, a lot of people do know a lot of Neshaminy kids, no Pennsbury kids, and so that's what makes that rivalry so rich and so exciting every year. Well, good luck this season. And looking forward to seeing you perform out there, opening up some holes for Neshaminy running backs and your quarterback. Pass that microphone along. We'll meet some of the other members of the offensive line. All right, so now we got
James Klessner,
a returning offensive lineman. That kind of makes you a leader on this team. Do the offensive linemen do stuff outside of practice together?
Not really. We talk a lot outside of practice and group chats and whatnot.
You got to get the group chat going these days. Well, as you work to get ready for Kensington, what do you feel like is a key for your line and this group in particular to perform as well as possible? I asked Travis, what's one of his favorite plays? What's one of your favorite things to get called into the huddle?
A lot of Alaska and
Iceland. Doesn't know what Alaska is.
Well, that's our keyword for them. They're really effective plays.
And we don't want to reveal any state secrets for Neshaminy football, but Coach, can you tell us a little, what is Alaska, or is that sworn to secrecy?
Sworn to secrecy.
Okay.
Find something else to talk about, Joe.
All right, well, how about things that you hear Coach Wilmot say, as you're getting ready to go to bed and just echo through your mind or whatever?
Oh, working on my 3-step, working on my steps just in general, punching, driving people off the line. That's echoes throughout the day, too.
I've been talking to some of the other players about how neat the Neshaminy football website is, but it's cool in part because there's so much tradition there and so much history to Neshaminy football. Is that something that motivates you? And talk about some of the work that you guys put in the off season.
Yeah, it motivates me a lot. My father played here 20 plus years ago under Wilmot as well, awesome, when he was an offensive line coach. So that gives me a little bit more motivation to keep pushing harder.
That is cool. That is cool.
Yeah.
All right, we'll pass that along. We'll talk to a couple more members of the offensive line here for Neshaminy, as we got Kyler, returning offensive lineman. Yeah, so what about your off-season regimen?
So we just basically every day working hard in the weight room. I was switching from guard to center from last year. So, just getting snaps every day with the quarterback, making that connection, and, getting stronger for the season.
Did you do some long snapping or?
No, I just shotgun underneath. No long snap.
Man, that long snapping is kind of a specialty kind of deal. So, like I've been asking these other guys, what are some of the keys you think for Neshaminy to get off to a good start for your offensive line unit to play well together? Seems like you guys have a pretty good camaraderie and a good working relationship developing.
So I think in the games we just need to set the tone early, and in practice we got to focus on the small details, and once we get those down, we should come out on top.
And I guess it's considered kind of unanimous that all linemen prefer to run block than to pass block. But I think at the high school level, pass blocking can be a specialty, and having pride in keeping your, quarterback, his day good and his uniform clean is good. How about your opinion on pass blocking, run blocking?
I'm a fan of both. Pass blocking definitely has a place in my heart. Just kick stepping and be able to get plays downfield. But run blocking has its fun, just being able to hit someone. And score.
You drive right into the opponent.
Yes, sir.
Well, good luck this season, trying to punch those holes open for Neshaminy football, and pass that microphone on, if you would, to Connor Frederick, a newcomer at tight end. So how's that been coming along as far as figuring out where you're supposed to be on the field and what your teammates expect of you in this Neshaminy offense?
It's been coming along pretty good. I'm expected to catch the ball a lot, block a lot and all that and things like that.
How many times are you going to be put into a pass play, or I guess that's again more of those state secrets that we'll have to see as the season unfolds.
Yeah, you gotta see.
No, but
some teams use their tight ends more or less.
No, I'll
Coach.
say this. Connor showed a lot of talent since his 9th grade year. He showed a lot of talent last year. Connor's definitely a guy who we want to get to the ball. A lot of times on 3rd down, we take our tight end out. Connor's in on 3rd down doing a lot of different things for us. Connor's a guy who you're going to see a lot of, along with John and Travis and Anthony Gross. We're really excited about the skills that Connor possesses and what he can do for our football team.
The other thing that as a lineman or as a tight end, sometimes the things you do are meant to deceive the other team and to show like a different formation, or just at first show block, but then get into some type of space to maybe catch a football if that opportunity presents itself. That's kind of a little bit involved from the tight end spot.
Yeah.
Some decision making that has to go into that. Is that something that's been a challenge?
No, not really. I just do whatever the coach tells me to do, and I just, do whatever he has to tell me to do, and I'll, get the job done.
How much do you feel like the work that you put in the off season is paying off for you right now, getting ready for this Kensington game?
The work, it feels like it's paying off a good amount of it. I feel like I definitely got a little bit faster. My routes feel a little bit smoother, and my blocking feels pretty much better. Yeah.
And developing some good chemistry with Colin and. Just getting ready for this first opportunity out there.
Yeah, me and Colin threw a couple of times in the off season, so we had that chemistry down. Even last season, I got the ball a little bit, so I do feel like I have a good chemistry with him.
And the same question I asked RJ: what kind of feeling do you think you're going to have? This year, kind of a newcomer to Neshaminy football, being a big contributor at this varsity 6A level. They say, look to the left. Here come the Redskins, and you're charging out on the field, ready to do battle against Kensington High School.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to feel, a lot of excitement going through my mind, but I also got to stay locked into what I have to do. So, I'm just prepared to be out on that field in the first game on August 25th, and I feel pretty ready.
I'm getting excited for it right now as we get you ready for Neshaminy football on the WBCB Sports Network tonight. And we've met a bunch of the guys on offense. Thank you guys all for hanging out and being with us. RJ, James, Kyler, and Connor. And best of luck this season. Again, opening up holes, catching footballs, and doing some things to score some touchdowns for Neshaminy football. And we're going to take another break, Coach. And we've got some of the members of the defense here as well. We'll talk to some of your linebackers, defensive linemen. We got one of the strong safeties from the Neshaminy Redskins with us tonight for the Neshaminy preview show. And we're coming back in just a moment.
WSA customers, former Phillies pitcher Tommy Green here. I played on the 1993 National League champs, so I know a thing or two about what it's like playing on a winning team. BCWSA has all the ingredients. They make it easy for their customers to get automatic updates by text, email, or phone anytime there is a disruption in your service area. You can even customize your alerts by going to bcwsa.net. That's bcwsa.net. BCWSA, your partner for a safer environment. BCWSA, proven.
Whether you're just getting started, already well on your way, planning for your future, drafting your vision, growing toward greatness, or finding that dreams really can come true. Whatever your next steps are, we'll be right here with you, just like we have been for 150 years. Start here, grow here, stay here. Penn Community Bank. Here we are, and here we grow. Member FDIC.
Don't let joint pain bring you down. See how you can get relief at a free joint pain seminar at St. Mary Orthopedics. Joint care experts will inform and answer questions about diagnosing, managing, and treating joint problems, and knowing when it's time for a joint replacement. Ready to get back to life? Get to the next free joint pain seminar. Details at stmaryhealthcare.org/joint seminar. It's your health. Expect more.
Your day-to-day life is hectic between having to pick up the kids, make dinner, the countless other tasks that you got to get done. Rob's Automotive and Collision is there to make your life a whole lot easier. Make sure you take advantage of their spacious waiting rooms, the large flat-screen TVs, complimentary coffee and muffins, and free Wi-Fi. So even when you do have to stop, Rob's is there to make you feel right at home. Give Rob's a call today at 215-826-9200 for any of your auto repair needs.
All right, we're back at the Irish Rover. Time will never dim the glory of the Neshaminy Redskins. And we get ready for another Neshaminy high school football season on the WBCB Sports Network. Can't wait to get over there and check out some high school football under the lights on the new field. And right now we got some of the Neshaminy defensive players, the run stoppers with us, Coach Wilmot. And Matt DeSantis is the first guy we're going to talk to. Played linebacker last season, moved up the defensive line this year. And as you said, you guys like to try to run the ball, and stopping the run is job number one when it comes to defense in high school football. I mean, these guys are your front line, right, Coach?
That's right.
So, Matt, what kind of work did you put in the off season to get ready for this Kensington game, and how has that paid off throughout this, these few weeks to get ready and practice?
So really, this off season, I kind of took it serious in the weight room. A lot of my numbers shot up, and I was trying to gain as much weight as possible to get bigger, and I think that's what made. Well, we had also have a defensive change. So I think that's kind of what put me down in the front. Because I have our speed, but I also have the strength. But I feel like a lot of the progress just came from like working hard and showing up every day.
And it allowed you to develop that strength and add to your speed a little bit. Coach was saying this defense changing now with a kind of different mindset this year. Kind of allow you to be a little bit more aggressive up front.
Yeah.
In that three-man front, though, you're a run stopper, also a pass rusher.
Yep.
A little bit more decision-making that you have to do?
Actually less, because I'm really just I get the call from these two, and I just hit the gap. Really, that's my job.
So you just get after the football.
Get after the football, yeah.
That makes it easy. What has the preparation for Kensington is one thing, but what's it like to now finally be in full pads, actually going 100% and being able to hit guys? There's a certain tension that builds up throughout football camps now. I don't know, years ago, I think people were hitting each other the first day, and now it's nobody can touch everybody. And
yeah. I actually like hitting a lot.
I could tell.
That's why I like being on the D-line, because it's every play.
Right.
But, being in the pads in the heat is a lot. But the coaches know when to give us water and give us rest. But we still are out there working pretty hard.
Well, it looks like you're ready to mix it up and get after it against Kensington.
Definitely.
Anything when you look at the schedule or last year, how things played out, any particular games that you're looking forward to? A lot of guys mentioning, Pennsbury, but, that North Penn game was right in the balance. You guys will have Penn Ridge again. A lot of great opportunities to, to take advantage of this season.
Honestly, I think we should just take it one game at a time, honestly, and just move week to week and get better each week.
That's a pretty good philosophy. We'll pass that microphone on. We'll move down the line as we got Colin Giambrone now, returning starter, 30 tackles, and was named most improved player from last year's team. So that means expectations are much higher for you this year. What has that been like going into training camp and getting ready for this Kensington game now with more expectations on you?
It's been good, because I know that my coaches are confident in me and they know they can trust me, and over time from practicing and doing all these new formations, I'm able to call out what's wrong with it, and then they're able to work with me and we can figure out how to fix what's wrong with it, and they can trust what I say in it.
30 tackles from last season, and Matt was just saying that you guys are the communicators on the defense.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something like you're just visually identifying stuff, or the coach is also communicating with you from the sideline?
Both of it is.
And then, I mean, you also have to are there? I don't know. I guess you're calling out different formations to your players, and is that in the huddle or at any point pre-snap?
Mostly pre-snap. So we get the look from the offense. I give my call to the D-line. I get my passing call from my safeties. And if there's anything in that formation in particular, we check the sideline, see if coaches wanted to do anything specific to that formation.
And this new three-man front, he was saying less decision making on his part, but more on you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, pass that microphone on it if you be so kind. It sounds like kind of same situation for Colton as well. Another returning starter from last year, 43 tackles in action. Same kind of thing. Are you and do you guys always get on the same page? I would think there's some times where maybe you guys see things a little bit differently.
Yeah, we're mostly on the same page because me and him are best friends, so we get along really well.
Yeah, like Matt was saying, he just likes to get out there and hit, and you guys finally get to action. That must feel good after all the work you have put in. Well, what do you think about this season in general? I mean, probably a good way to approach it is game by game, but I don't know. Somehow I look at the whole thing as a big picture and a great opportunity for you guys to, maybe meet your rivals, the Pennsbury Falcons again. What are you thinking? Any games you have circled, Colton?
I'm excited to verse Pennsbury again because they're our rivals, and
as a defender and all that additional, you want to get out there and hit people. This new defense, being a little bit more aggressive. Do you like that philosophy? Does that suit your style of play?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, looking forward to seeing you out there on the field. Thank you for joining us. And if you don't mind, pass that microphone down to your teammate. And we got one more run stopper to meet before we talk to a couple more members of the Neshaminy defense. And this is Kieran Reardon. Saw significant time last year at nose guard, and that's going to be the same spot they got you at this year.
Yes, sir.
Well, that seems to be a critical, element of this run-stopping defense. Are you reading certain cues from the running backs? The quarterback, just like the way they have their feet and stuff like that. What are some of the keys that you're trying to read pre-snap as a nose guard?
I'm always trying to read the inside guard or the inside knee of the guard because it generally tells me where they're going and what they're trying to do, and I can generally adjust to it pretty well.
What do you think the key is? Like I was saying to Colton, a different style of defense. Do you feel like it suits a lot of the players that are on this team this year?
I really feel that it does because there's a lot of us that just want to be old school smash mouth football players, and this really gives us the chance to.
I think the nose guard is probably the most old school smash mouth position on the entire field, and we wish you luck here in this year. I know you put in a ton of work as well in the offseason. Like I was saying earlier, proud of all you guys for the sacrifices that you make in order to be part of this Neshaminy tradition. What do you think the key is for you guys just to have a good season in general and to get off to a good start?
I think it really just comes down to us having fun and being able to work as a unit. Because if we're able to work as a unit and have fun, then everything's just going to start to click eventually. And it's just going to go from there.
And, a good start, some early wins makes it a lot more fun. So good luck, and hopefully you guys get off to a great start. Kensington coming up, and that's our first game on the WBCB schedule. And we wish you guys well. Thanks for joining us today. Members of the Neshaminy defense with us. Let's hear it for these guys. Want to thank them for being with us. All right, and without taking another break, we're going to switch up players. So we want you guys to move on out, and we're going to bring in some of your past defenders, Coach.
Gotcha.
And are these guys dealing with some different responsibilities because of the change in defense philosophy?
Yeah, so traditionally Neshaminy has been a 4-4-3 type of defense. That's 4 linemen, 4 linebackers, 3 defensive backs. Now we're, come on, Jared. Now we're a 3-4-4. Okay, so there's 3 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and 4 defensive backs. So, like we're asking a lot more of our safeties. Like last year, if Damasio Cooper, who's to my left right here, last year if he made a tackle, it was a plus for us. This year, Damasio is expected to make a tackle. He's kind of part of the linebacking course. So, going from a 4-4, there 4 + 4 = 8. Now we're 3 + 4, that's 7. You want that 8th defender up there, and a lot of times it's either Doyle or Damasio who's kind of coming in and cleaning up.
Well, Damasio Cooper, our first... Damasio, excuse me. Free safety for Neshaminy, a returning starter, 60 tackles in last season, and you got the award of Mr. Back. And Coach Wilmot was telling us how some of those awards go back many, many years. What did that mean to be part of that tradition? And do you know, have other Mr. Backs come up and said, oh, I got that award back in 1990 or 1980 or something like that?
No, I haven't seen any previous Mr. Backs. They were from like older generations, but the previous Mr. Back came up to me, Marcus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. And that's for the defensive backs coach?
It could be a defensive back or it could be for an offensive back also.
All right, so a different defensive philosophy, Damasio. What has that changed? I don't know, your ability to be aggressive. How would you characterize your approach on the defensive side of the football?
I think it allows me to be a little more aggressive on one side of the ball because I know I have Doyle on the other half than me. So if I see a run on my side, I know I could just go for it.
And when you guys are working together like that a certain amount of chemistry has to develop or experience. You know where the other guy is supposed to be. Has that something that's developed naturally between you two, or
yes,
in this getting ready for this first game? You see, okay, I know where he's going to be.
Yeah, I think a lot of our coverages, I know where he's supposed to be and where everyone else is supposed to be, and I know where my spot is with that as well.
What do you think is the key for Neshaminy to have a good season this year? What needs to happen for this team to come together? I mean, people have said, we need to have fun. We need to, just work hard. Probably a mix of all that stuff.
Yeah, I think defense needs to read their keys, make big plays. Offense needs to do the same, and then we'll be good.
Well, maybe a little more pressure on you guys. It feels like defense needs to lead the way on this team a little bit in the early going and hold Kensington to a low score in order to, get to a good start and kind of capitalize on some of the experience that you guys bring in on that side of the football.
Yeah, we just got to do what we've been doing, but better.
Gotcha. All right, we'll pass that microphone along. We got a couple of additional Neshaminy players to meet. All right, Coach, who's next?
Next is Doyle Schwartz. So Doyle made his mark as a younger player for us on special teams. We have him out there as a 10th grader, and there he is running down the kickoff, and he was a guy who kind of shined on film. He was a guy who wouldn't shy away from contact. Goes into last year, he wants to be on the field. Last year he helped us out at corner. He was still a cornerstone on those special teams. Again, the reason why he's a cornerstone is because he loves to come up and hit people. And like I said, with the switching the defense, it's just a natural fit for him to come in there and play safety for us.
Welcome to the show. Thanks for being with us. Talking about a natural fit, do you just feel like you take naturally to the football field? Like, it sounds like you've got a lot of versatility, can play many different positions. That's not easy to do.
Yeah, well, I have a big wrestling background for my whole life. I grew up wrestling, so I've always been good at taking people to the ground. So even growing up, tackling was my biggest strength. Even if it wasn't covering, I would always be able to take someone to the ground, even if they were bigger than me.
so I've never been worried about making contact with a bigger player. So being able to drop down, play linebacker sometimes, and if I need to drop back and make a big hit on someone, I'm able to do it, and I like that.
Yeah, I mean, not being intimidated is you got to have the guts to play this sport and get in there and mix it up. And it seems like there's no lack of want to for this Neshaminy defense. I mean, you guys, I feel like they're ready to hit me or hit you or hit somebody right now. Get ready for Kensington football. Do you feel like because the defense maybe has a little more experience, it's going to be good for you guys to set a certain tone?
Yeah, I feel like we're a real tight-knit team. Like me and Demasio, like you said, we've gotten a lot closer over the offseason. When he came back from track, we clicked right away, got right back in the lifting group, got stronger together over the offseason, been putting in work on the field. My athleticism has definitely increased since last year. I've gotten better at covering people because tackling's, like I said, been a strength, but I had to work on my weakness of covering people.
And, I mean, you're still going to be putting in a lot of contributions on the special teams.
Oh, yeah.
Man, that kickoffs, punt returns.
Yeah, running down there, making a tackle on kickoff, first play of the game, that's a big important thing. And even if you're returning the ball, we need to make a big block if you need to get down there.
That's good. Like anybody who's got long hair, they got to be a special teams player who loves to run down there and just hit people.
It's called the flow.
Yes, sir.
It's got the flow.
He's got the flow. And good luck out there on the field this year. Any teams, any games that you're circling? Maybe like guys have been saying, take it game by game, and the only game we're concerned about is Kensington.
Yeah, I got a couple games circled in my book, North Penn being one of them. I got to get back series for that game.
All right, well, we will have that game. That's like game 4. That's going to be a game on Thursday, September 14th. So a little bit of a weird wrinkle in the schedule. Thursday game when Neshaminy hosts North Penn. Well, good luck in that game and throughout the season. Thanks for joining us here on the preview show. Pass that microphone down, and we got one more player to talk to, Coach.
Jared is an outside linebacker for us, so he's in the pass guy group, but a big responsibility for him is stopping the run. Last year we were looking for an outside linebacker, and in the first series of our LaSalle scrimmage, Jared came downhill and stopped speed sweep, and every single coach said, "There's our guy right there." Jared went on to have a good season for us last year, and I know he's really hungry to have a great year this year.
And Jared, what kind of work did you put in to get ready for this game against Kensington? I mean, like weight room, the whole thing. It's got to, get you, anxious to play, or like a countdown to that opening kickoff.
Yeah, in the weight room all off season, went hard. Me and our whole lifting group just put on 20 extra pounds, so that'll help a lot. Definitely bigger than last year.
At that outside linebacker, the responsibilities that Coach is kind of talking about, you got to be responsible for the pass and responsible for the run, and be kind of able to read and see things clearly. I would imagine being on the field last year feels like it's going to help you. What did you feel like you learned from last year's experience?
Well, last year I got put in like a week before our LaSalle scrimmage, so that was kind of hard. I was kind of learning throughout the year, but I feel like I got experience now. I know the position, and I know what to expect this year. Fast enough for the pass and strong enough to stop the run. All the conditioning and lifting we did, I feel like I'm ready. I'm ready to go now.
And again, same thing, like you got to be willing to step up and make a tackle in open space and take on a big back and stuff like that. And like the rest of your defensive teammates, you just have to have the guts to get up there and mix it up. And I know you guys are ready to do it.
Ready as ever.
All right, well, soon enough, we'll be hearing look to the left. Here come the Redskins as they take the field for the first time against Kensington. Coach Wilmot, thank you so much for bringing the players out here to the Irish Rover. This is the spot for Neshaminy football after the games. Everybody always comes to the Irish Rover. Taco Tuesdays, they got their prime rib on Wednesdays, the killer burgers on Thursdays. Always something great at the Rover, and we're just getting psyched for Neshaminy football, and we wish you guys the very best. Coach, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Can't thank you enough, and I don't know, wish you guys just the best of luck this season as we wrap this one up, and as they say, time will never dim the glory of the Neshaminy Redskins. And check out that the website for more great information about Neshaminy football. Thanks to Brianne O'Neill, our video engineer for tonight's Neshaminy football preview show from the Irish Rover Station House. And we will hope you will be with us for Neshaminy and Kensington on October the 25th. Take care. Go Skins.